Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Hot Toys Predators Classic Predator 6 scale figure. Not Hot Toys' first attempt at a Predator figure, but if you ask me, certainly a superior release versus the original. This comes us from the Predators line, so it's not quite an older movie, but you know, Predators, you remember when it was released several years ago. Spot's finally getting around to reviewing this. I figure I've long wanted to review it, just never got around to actually getting it looked at until now. It is produced and manufactured by the folks over at Hot Toys, and as you can see, the box is so very cool. It's got that laser sighting scope on the front, and you can see that the classic Predator is underneath. When you go ahead and remove that top sleeve, you can see the classic Predator underneath. The back of the box features the classic Predator helmet, 1/6 scale collectible figure. And finally, you can also open the flap up here via the Velcro inside. And you've got the classic Predator featured on the inside with a read-up and the Predator figure on the other. The read-up says, Predators, a bold new chapter in the Predator universe, shot under the creative auspices of Robert Rodriguez. In this story, we follow Royce, a cold-blooded mercenary whose only allegiance is those who pay him. He reluctantly leads a group of elite warriors who come to realize that they've been brought together on an alien planet as prey. With the notable exception of the disgraced physician Edwin, they are all cold-blooded killers. Mercenaries, Yakuza, convicts, death squad members, human predators that are now being systematically hunted and eliminated by a new breed of alien predators. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, however, we're going to get a better look at the Hot Toys Predators Classic Predator 1/6 scale figure. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. With the Classic Predator, the first thing we'll have a look at is this really cool display stand that comes included with the piece. Now, as opposed to getting the circular standard display stand with Predators featured on the front, Hot Toys went a little extra and gave us this awesome scenery with a skeletal front on the side of the display stand there. It's also got a little skull featured down below. Of course, the adjustable neck. Now, the one thing I didn't add to this display stand, reaching off camera, is this extra piece. It's a stretched out pelt that you can take and just peg those into place like that. A little bit harder actually to peg it into place. Oh, actually, you know what? It helps if Spot put it the right way. Spot didn't put it the right way. There we go. Just peg that into place like so. It's a pretty effective looking display. Now for me, depending on how you want to prefer to display him with, I might opt to take the pelt off because it makes the display stand look a little too alien in design. Now granted, you've got this big giant skull skeleton on the side here too, but I mean, at least taking this off, you could kind of make it look a little more like it's the Predator from Earth and not opposed to the Predator from the alien world. With the display stand though, this is what the completed look looks like. Again, I don't mind it. I might again want to just leave this off in its entirety and just have the Predator standing on, up for the most part, what could be, you know, land from any real given planet. It doesn't have to be specifically the Predator hunting planet. The Predator is an absolutely gorgeous piece though. Of my list of stuff that if somebody was to say, what specific Hot Toys pieces would you recommend if you were going to be filling out a collection? Well, again, a lot of that is based on what specifically you're into. You might like more horror movie stuff. You like more maybe sci-fi stuff. But I think of the top 10, I would say get yourself a Predator, because this piece is awesome. Now it does have light up functions. Unfortunately, my particular one does not have the ability to light up. There are two areas that you have to change out the batteries. There's a battery compartment right underneath his gauntlet, right where his countdown timer will be. And then there is, let me just move his hair out of the way, there's a secondary battery compartment right here. For one reason or another, I've actually tried in the past to change out the batteries, and for some reason I can't get the light up features to work, which it's not devastating because a lot of times I won't store Hot Toys on shelves, and I would say this as a suggestion, don't display your Hot Toys on your shelf with the batteries intact, because eventually those batteries start leaking. It could erode any of the mechanics inside and really ruin the piece from from working. So needless to say, I don't have the battery functions working, neither on the back plasma cannon, plasma caster backpack, or for that matter, the battery compartment right here. But I'll still show you the features that are on this figure. Normally with Predators too, the face reveal always comes at the end, so unfortunately Spot's ruined it a little bit by showing you what the face looks like in advance, but you can see phenomenal paint detail on the face. A small nitpick, I find like the collar section here wants to lift a bit when you move the neck. It's just a small gripe, I would say. Try to hold the neck collar as you're moving the neck so that you don't run the risk that when you lift the neck, you see a big gap here where it shouldn't be. But very, very small gripe. I love the wet look that they've given the brow crest of the Predator head here. Of course, his mandibles extended out, screaming agony, or of course just really, really PO'd. I love how all of this has that wet look. On the inside where his mouth is, inside flesh here has that wet look, but especially like again around that face area. Not sure if you can make out the eyes. The eyes are sunken in there. Yellow pupils on a black eyeball. It's not something I actually remember seeing, but something I'm probably going to have to go and double check again, because I don't remember the Predators actually having black eyeballs, but there you go. We spin around the back of the figure. Now the back of the figure has his dreads, the equivalent of his dreads. Now, I love that these are all individual and they're all rubbery. They all have a rubber material made to them, and then they've got the little lock links attached to the hairs. Because they're all independent too, it allows, when you're moving the head, there's just a fluidity to the locks. You know, they all look like they move and fall in a natural way against the torso of the figure. Now, depending on how you want to display Predator, you can either display him as the helmeted version, I'll show you guys that in a second, or you can do him as the unmasked, unhelmeted version. But even unhelmeted, you have a couple of different options as well. The reason being that Hot Toys gives you 2 extra side mandible replacements. So we can go ahead, and to change it, extremely easy. Reach to the side, and you just want to wiggle, grab the forehead probably is easiest, wiggle and just pop these side pieces off. It's as easy as that. And then you can go ahead and take the replacements and just fit those back into place. There we go. And you get something that looks like this. I see this and I instantly think the original Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just a great, great look. I'm not really sure which one I prefer more. I'm really digging the closed mouth look to it though. It's really done well. Again, you can see that darker brown mixed with a tan color. Painted very immaculately on the side of his head here. And the freckles carry over down to the sides of his teeth or his mandibles there. You can still see the jaw, his mouth inside, but it's very well concealed. So again, not really sure which way I prefer to have it looking. Again, you can also opt to switch it out completely with the helmet. Just before, though, I show you the helmet on the figure, let's have a look at the rest of the piece. Now, the paint has carried over well from the legs to the torso to the head. The primary color seems to be more of a cream, kind of a creamy color. I don't know if the camera's going to be picking it up though, but even on the cream color, there's these light little, let's bring the camera in so you can maybe see what I'm talking about here. There's almost like these lighter little flecks of color that have gone through the beige. That cream, but the little white in it really gives it more of a realistic look. And again, they've added a wetter look to it, giving it what would be a more realistic approach. Of course, he's got his armor plates going on there. On the sides of his legs, he has them. On his lower legs, he's got the shin guard plates. And then he's got the shoulder pad, and of course the plasma caster backpack. This section here is posable. It can lift and lower. Let's bring the camera up here a little bit. This caster, the plasma gun can actually tip up and down. It can also rotate, and it can also hinge down depending on how you want to have it displayed. He's got a couple of hoses. One hose from the main chest piece to the side shoulder pad area, and this also is its own independent piece. So when you move the arms, it doesn't seem restricted at all because that shoulder pad is in place. And then finally, completing the look of the Predator, you've got the loin cloth. It's almost like a velour material. And it's in brown, and then he's got the netting that encompasses pretty much from the top where this little collar piece is right down to the bottom. He's got this fishnet overlay that's been covered over top of his body. Exactly, again, how he looks in the movie. Some other details to note as well is his side gauntlet, and then of course, just like in the movie, this extends out. That's as far as it goes. Now this is real metal. I wouldn't say it's sharp, but it does have almost a sharpness to it. You kind of feel the little pricks on it. But luckily it's not a sharp blade though. But it does retract. And also it does extend. And then of course on the other arm, now this section would light up in a second. I'll show you guys that. I won't show you the light up function, sadly, but I'll show you how it would have lit up. This section here can be removed, and there's a reason for it, but we attach it back onto his arm. And of course, as we've seen in the Predator movies, he's got his countdown clock to his self-destruct. And this opens and closes. So, as Spot was saying, you can either go with the unhelmeted version of the classic Predator, or the folks over at Hot Toys also give you a helmet. They don't give you just one helmet, no. They actually give you two. You can see one is more battle ravaged. The whole side of the mask helmet has been ripped right off. And then the other one is more intact. So depending on your preference for it. To accomplish this look, what you're going to do is, again, reach for those mandibles, pull them off, and you're going to do one other step too. Once you've taken both off, go ahead and grab its bottom jaw. And initially when I first got this, I didn't realize you had to take the bottom jaw off too. Take this completely off. It would look like Predator's missing a whole lot of stuff, and the reason for it is the inside of the helmet has those little same tabs that essentially were the same as the jaws pieces that we've taken off. We'll remove the cord out of the way, and you're going to go ahead and attach this to his face. And you get something that looks like that. You can see what I mean though. It's really hard to tell which piece, or hard to decide which way you want to display the Hot Toys Predator. As much as I love the helmeted version, I also equally love the unhelmeted version too. So I might find myself on occasion, I might see myself probably changing this from time to time. I mean, this is iconic in the sense that this is how we see Predators for the most part of the movies, until near the end, of course, there's always that reveal where the Predator will remove his helmet. Now you saw probably there was a cord coming out from the back of the helmet. The reason for it is because it attaches, if we just move the hair out of the way, it attaches to a socket point right at the back of his backpack here, and that plugs into place. How that would work though is that there's a light. There's a little red light that would emit when you turn the switch on the back. Now, sadly, I don't have that functionality available I can show you, but it would be just a red light that would project out from the helmet. To also show you how the unhelmeted works, or the battle damaged helmet works, we're going to go ahead and pop this off. There we go. Making sure, of course, to take the wire off completely as well. And we can go ahead and swap it out for the battle damaged helmet. Same way, it's going to plug into the place the same exact way. The only difference being, you can see now that the side of the Predator's face is more revealed. Not crazy on this look, to be honest. You know, if you're having it on display with maybe the other Predators, yeah, okay, sure, I see that. But if I wanted just like an iconic look for this Predator, I'd probably be more inclined to either go with the full helmet or completely leave the helmet off. The last thing I'll show you on this figure is once again this arm plate. Again, you can take that completely off. Hot Toys gives you the same exact plate, although you will see, yeah, there's a little opening in there. So we're going to take it, swap it out, make sure you put it the right way, and that plugs into place. Now with the lights, there's a blue light that emits. Once you turn it on, there's a little blue light that emits from the top section here. And Hot Toys also gives you a couple of extra attachments that you can plug into place. One is the main planet. As you can see, the main planet with the moon kind of orbiting around it. I like how it looks like it's been projected as if it was a hologram. Very exact, like very accurate to the movie. Or what you can also do too is unplug that. And there's one more of, not quite the solar system, but one of the planet and several different things orbiting around it. And again, that just plugs into place. You don't really see something like this in the original Predator, but in later Predators like AVP and stuff like that, you see them projecting stuff from their gauntlet. So if that's something you prefer, it's really cool that Hot Toys would include that. The Predator out of packaging comes with almost like a pointing finger and a closed fist, but you also get yourself an extra closed fist. You get a pair of kind of grasping hands. And you also get more of a closed palm as well, depending again how you want to switch them out to. And of course, no Hot Toys 6 scale figure would be complete with a pair of extra pegs. So if something happens to the pegs that are in the sockets now, or if you have a stubborn one, I've had that on occasion, you pull the hand out and the peg comes out with it, again, you've got extras you can work with. The Predator's articulation will consist of a ball socket joint. One ball socket sits at the base of the neck, while the secondary ball socket sits at the bottom of the neck. And again, like this collar will move a little bit when you find yourself moving the head, so I would say just maybe press down with your thumb and then you can adjust the head that way. It also has hinge socket shoulders. They rotate out. They rotate forward and back. And you can see that the shoulders do move out of the way as the arms move. So that's something I really like. He has a hinge in the elbow, which also rotates at the forearm. He has a ball joint in the hand, as well as a ball joint socket in the torso. Hinged legs, swivel at the knee, or swivel at the top thigh area. He has a single bend knee. And finally, what appears to be just a straight ball joint in his Predator feet. Toys has delivered so many fantastic 6 scale figures that it's really hard to compile a list of the must-haves. Again, a lot of it is based on what your preference might be. Some may gravitate a little more towards the Batmans, the Supermans, while others may gravitate towards the sci-fi pieces. If I could compile a list of my top 10, Predator definitely would be making that list. There's certain iconic characters that to get them in a 6 scale treatment, figures such as this are figures that I would definitely recommend. There's specific ones that I really like, the Terminators, the Robocops. Yeah, I generally like to get a definitive version of each character in 6 scale treatment. I don't think Hot Toys could have done a better job on this piece, the interchangeable hands. Sadly, I wish the light up functions were still available, but the interchangeable helmet or the unmasked helmet, depending on, again, which way you would want to display it. But this is a must have. If you can find them, and now because Predators is an older line, you would have to look in the aftermarket. But if you can find this piece, I definitely would say add them to your collection. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the Hot Toys Predators, the classic Predator 1/6 scale collectible figure. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.